Lack of motivation, procrastination, lack of consistency, and distractions are all obstacles to discipline.
Welcome to Lead Like a Magician, the show where we dive into the often changing and complex world of leadership with your host, Braden Daniels. Braden has traveled the globe educating and amazing business teams with his thought-provoking keynotes and workshops. Our host brings over 20 years of leadership experience and knowledge to help you demystify your leadership so you can empower your team to success. Get ready to take a journey of growth and insight as we unlock the secrets of leadership with the thought leader, mind reader himself, Braden Daniels.
Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Lead Like a Magician, where we discuss a wide range of leadership topics that help you grow your skill set and your mindset. I'm Braden Daniels, your guide on this journey to effective leadership. Today we will explore discipline, harnessing the power of the fire element. You know, at Lead Like a Magician, we talk about how the magician archetype in your leadership controls the elements, and one of those elements is the fire element. And if you think about the fire element, it'll bring a lot of understanding to this discussion. An ant works hard all summer long to gather food and store it for the winter, while his friend the grasshopper sings and plays all summer long. When winter comes, the ant is well prepared and has plenty of food to survive, while the grasshopper is left cold and hungry. The story teaches us that the lessons of hard work and discipline can pay off in the long run, while laziness and lack of discipline can have negative effects. This is the ant and the grasshopper, which is an Aesop's fable. If we think about the flame of fire, a controlled flame provides us light and warmth. And just like discipline, we can use it in a focused and intentional way, cook our food, for example, the flame, without causing harm to other people. Now, you can be over-disciplined, and the flame can be too hot. But a controlled flame is super helpful and valuable to think about. Also, a forge that tempers steel, think about that for a second, is just like discipline, because discipline, like that forge, can strengthen the character and shape our character, just like the forge shapes metal, for example. Discipline can also be, if you look at a fire in terms of it getting out of control, it can be like a wildfire. It can be uncontrollable. Now, the negative side of that is being too disciplined and coming across too crass, too focused, and not being able to communicate or connect with other people socially and be kind of a hard butt, if you will. Now, the good side of being disciplined is that those around you will see that you're disciplined, and then they can see the results that you're getting from how you're behaving, and that can impact them, like the wildfire takes to a field. So there is a positive side about it, because when you embody discipline in your actions and in your habits, you can inspire others to create that positive ripple effect in their life. Now, there are some obstacles to discipline. Number one is motivation, right? It can be hard to be motivated to do something that's hard, to shape your character, to forge and temper your steel, for example. It can be difficult to stay focused and committed to tasks, and largely because the efforts that we put in today, the results of that don't show up for months or years down the line. So these disciplines don't have immediate impact or immediate results. Can't just see them quickly. And because that, it requires more motivation. And so you really need to know why you were trying to do something that's hard, right? You want to know, why are you doing this hard thing, right? So understanding why, committing to the why of why you're doing this act that's hard, which is discipline, is important. So if you're making a change in your business or in your leadership that's hard or difficult, you really want to go back to, why am I trying to do this? Because it's going to help you get through some of these obstacles. Another obstacle is procrastination. Now, procrastination is when you put off or delay something that's important. Now, most of the time, procrastination is a symptom of fear. There's something you might be afraid of, you're not ready to handle. You might be insecure about something, or uncertain about how it's going to go. So that fear shows up, and then its friend procrastination helps you not deal with that today. And procrastination can be good when you come to creativity. Procrastination is great because you're incubating on an idea, and then that will form itself later on, probably while you're doing something mundane. It'll be working in the background. So that form of procrastination is good. But when you are procrastinating on something that's important, it just signals that fear is present. And so you want to ask yourself, what about this thing is causing me to be fearful? And really think about it and try to understand it. Because the more you understand it, the more it goes from a feeling to a logical, experiential thing where you can say, well, the last time I did this, what happened? I wasn't so bad, right? So you can start to work through it once you kind of identify it. So procrastination's a big thing, and it's likely fear that's kind of presenting itself. Today's world, one of the big distractions to discipline is distractions. They are everywhere. Social media, email, TV, all of these distractions will likely, unless your goal is to watch TV or to be on social media, will pull you away from the goals that you really want to accomplish. And they make it harder to stay on track because we live in a world where attention is the new currency. And when something has your attention, that's valuable. It's valuable to social media platforms. It's valuable to corporate sponsors. Your attention is very valuable. So you want to be in control of that. And attention is an act of magic. When you put your attention on something, you can really transform it. And when your attention is hijacked, it's other people using your attention for their own gain. So be very careful about how you're using your attention. Distractions are a thing. It's just going to happen. You're going to be in the middle of something, like what happens a lot for me, cooking some dinner, and doorbell rings and there's a salesperson trying to sell something, right? So that takes you away from that task that you're doing. So just be careful of all the different distractions that happen throughout your day and try to manage around them, and limit the distractions that can show up. And then really the last obstacle is consistency. It's easy to be disciplined for a short time, but if those results aren't coming in that short period of time, you can get really down, and it can make it very difficult to maintain that habit for the long term. So being consistent is an important part of discipline, or else it's really just not going to pay off. So lack of motivation, procrastination, lack of consistency, and distractions are all obstacles to discipline. So we've covered a lot today on discipline, went in a lot of different areas, but it's time for the takeaway, where we pull out a few key insights that you can take away from today's discussion and maybe implement in your own life and put it into play, because knowledge without application is kind of useless. So takeaway number one, discipline leads to transformation. So what aspect of your work or your life that you know you can be more disciplined in, i.e. that you want to transform? And how committed to that have you been in the past? And what would it take to be recommitted to that? And takeaway number two is, recognize the obstacles that are showing up in your life to discipline. Ask yourself, if the thing that I want to accomplish requires discipline, how is my motivation? How am I handling distractions when it comes to this? Am I procrastinating? Have I been consistent? And how can I be more consistent? And finally, what is your why for doing the hard thing? What is your why for doing the hard thing? That's an important question that discipline requires from us. So, thank you for listening to another episode of Lead Like a Magician. If you found this valuable, please share it with a fellow leader. If you'd like to bring Lead Like a Magician, the educational and entertaining workshop or keynote to your organization, email me, Braden@BradenDaniels.com. That's BRADEN @BradenDaniels.com. Until next time, remember to lead like a magician.